Alright, so for our skill analysis assignment, we will be analyzing the baseball pitch of both a professional athlete and an amateur athlete. So the professional that we've chosen to analyze is Drew Storen from the Toronto Blue Jays, and away we go.
So the first phase of a baseball pitch is the wind-up phase, and this positions the body in the most advantageous way possible to deliver the pitch. And here the weight is transferred onto the back leg and the torso must rotate 90 degrees, as you can see here.
The next phase is the stride phase. The purpose of the stride phase is to create linear velocity through forward motion, and the phase concludes as the lead foot makes contact with the ground.
So next is the arm cocking phase, and this positions the body in the best way possible to begin the pitch. And the phase begins with a dual leg stance. As you can see here, both of his feet are on the ground. The weight is transferred onto the front leg in order to push off, and the torso rotates 90 degrees to face forward.
We then move into the arm acceleration phase. The purpose of this phase is to build up momentum to begin the pitch itself. This phase begins with the GH joint in medial external rotation and ends with the ball release from the thrower's hand. The position of shoulder and elbow during acceleration and ball release are important for velocity. They add to a lot of the momentum of the actual throw or pitch. There is a 90 degrees of horizontal abduction, which can optimize the strength and minimize shoulder impingement.
So the next phase is arm deceleration, and the purpose of this is to release the ball and begin recovery. So it begins with ball release and concludes when the shoulder reaches maximum internal rotation. Large eccentric loads are necessary to decelerate the throwing arm. The large internal rotation torque placed on the GH joint is counterbalanced by contraction of the rotator cuff's external rotators, which are the infraspinatus and the teres minor.
And then we have the final phase of the pitch, which is the follow-through phase. So in the follow-through phase, the thrower's body weight and momentum of ball release result in a forward movement. So the stride leg stabilizes and absorbs the body force of the pitch, and most overuse injuries to the posterior arm or trunk occur during this phase. So I'll just show you the follow-through phase one more time. So if you watch here, the follow-through phase begins at this point as the entire body is carried forward. Alright, so now we are going to look at an amateur baseball player. So here we have a 13-year-old baseball player carrying out just a normal baseball pitch.
So we can see here he does do a pretty good wind-up phase. He positions the body in the best possible way. All of his weight is transferred onto the back leg in order to push off, and his torso does rotate 90 degrees.
So in his pitch, he does follow the first phases fairly well, but after he reaches the arm cocking phase, he just puts all of the phases together. He doesn't break them apart the same way the professional does. He skips some of the movements. So the biggest example here is in the actual throw itself, in the arm acceleration phase, he doesn't carry his arm forward and over his shoulder. It's more of a swinging motion out to the side, which can result in an injury to the GH or the trapezius or any of the muscles and ligaments in and around the shoulder area.
And he does not really have an arm deceleration phase or a follow-through phase, and this is why we can see he kind of stumbles forward and has to take some steps. He's not able to absorb the momentum that he just gave.
So in conclusion, we can see that the amateur versus the professional, their pitches are very different. Although the amateur does follow some of the phases, he takes out a lot of the phases which would prevent serious injury. So as we can see, the professional followed all of these phases here, whereas the amateur stopped at arm cocking and kind of morphed these three phases together: the arm cocking, arm acceleration, arm deceleration, and just kind of ends with a follow through that is very stumbly and just confused and messy.
And now we'll finish off with some dancing Channing Tatum.
Thank you for watching our video, and yes, enjoy some of this beauty.